And we are live. Can you guys hear me? Making sure that we can hear things and, you know, the PlayStation controller hasn't possessed my whole computer. Are we good? I can hear you. Perfect. What's up, guys? Canadian Guy here, and we are back with Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. So, tomorrow we're not going to stream Spyro. In case anybody is like, you know, anybody who's like, oh, he's playing Spyro for the 80 millionth time, will be prepared for 80 million times more. But I am back, and if I seem a little off, it's just I am exhausted. It has been a tiring week, and I am very tired, and the exhaustion doesn't end. But I'm happy to be back doing more Spyro talking about Spyro. I hope you guys enjoyed my recent video about Spyro. I hope you guys are having a good day. So we'll be doing a different game tomorrow, though. We'll be resuming back to our one game of one series, one game of a different series, bouncing back and forth. Yes, I did hear the news. I had heard the news that kind of just broke today that Stuart Copeland is not returning to doing the music for Spyro A Realm Beyond, which is a little bit, yeah, I did hear that news. I saw that reported today by, I believe it was The Independent.
Nice work.
I'm a little upset about that. But at the same token of time, did I not get all the gems in Glimmer? If I didn't get all the gems in Glimmer, how did I cheated? I cheated it. I did the, or I cheesed it. What do you mean I didn't get them all? I swear I did. Okay, weird. We'll have to do that again later. But it's been confirmed today, which is a little bit frustrating because I had a video in, I would be like maybe profile bio. Woo! Let me see. That is cool. That is very cool.
Well done, Spyro.
So I am, you know, as I am disappointed, it is what it is.
Before you get to the castle dungeon, Spyro, I thought
Hey,
that you
Southwest
might
Warrior.
want to know how Ripto and his monsters arrived in Avalar. You see, last week in the winter tundra, the professor
I love Spyro and
organized
Crossroads.
a
That'd be
new
so cool.
super portal technology.
There, that's the last orb in place. Now let's see. All we need are some coordinates.
Yeah? How about 22475? That's my birthday.
No, Hunter, don't.
Thank you so much, Dark Golem. I'll read the chat as soon as the cinematic is over. But thank you for the first donation of the stream, the $5. Thank you so much. 1 second. What best?
Get off me, you useless buffoons! Why can't either of you?
Where are we?
Where are we? No dragons? Wonderful. Crush, go back and pack my bags. We're moving in. Say hello to your new king.
Professor, shut it down. Hurry.
Oh my, I can't see the switch. I think I've broken my glasses.
Crush, go through the portal, you idiot.
Tell all your friends to take the orbs and scatter them throughout Avalar. Quickly.
Still legendary. Go through the portal.
Now! Go! Crush! Get the orbs now! Ow! You despicable little creature! I'll kill you!
This is bad news for Avalar. Hunter, why didn't you chase him?
Yeah. I would have gone after him, but didn't he say something about not liking dragons?
Professor, could we catch a dragon to help us?
Yes, I think so. We'll need a world that has an alignment much better suited to intercepting one of these creatures. How about Glimmer?
Glimmer. Thank you so much, Dark Golem, for the first donation stream, $5. Hey, King, I just want to say that I appreciate your stuff, and I might as well shout out I'm autistic, plus I have no bad intentions. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for supporting, and, you know, it's good to know that there is no bad intentions. Thank you. First donation of the stream. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. So, here's the thing. Is that one, we don't know if Stuart was Alpha Dude donated, or it's the second one. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Alpha Dude. Want a weird glitch reignite Ripto's Rage in PS5? If you get to Dragon Shores and activate the Super Flame, if you keep it, it's our new save flaw, it will still have Super Flame. It might just be my game. Actually, no. That is actually something that also happened in the original games as well, if my memory serves correct, that if you had finished the game for the rest, it was like a reward. It's like the rest of your game, you had Super Flame. There is a cheat that you can turn it off, though. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $20. Yeah, the Super Flame being active, that was a carryover thing from the original game, which is kind of wild. So, Dark Golem donated another $5. Thank you for the support. This is the last one this week. Payday is Thursday and I have a tight budget. That's no problem. Also, Ripto should have won in my opinion. Anyways, that's all I have for today. That's no problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. I do like Ripto. Though, you know, he can't win because he's not as cool as Spyro. I do like Ripto. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the stream tonight. Thank you so much. We got another donation. Now, we've started a donation train. Victorian donated $10 to Super Chat. I want to join the donation train. If you want to see my profile pic in full, check best post on our Spyro, and it's right there. I had too much fun. So happy to be drawing again. I haven't drawn in a while. That is so awesome. Thank you so much for hopping on the donation train. $10. Thank you so much, Victorian. You know, it's awesome to see Spyro inspiring people to come back and do their hobbies and stuff. That's always something that's a lot of fun. I will take a look at it after the stream. I have made my first, not post, but I made my first comment back in the Spyro Reddit. I made one small comment. I decided to look in there. I was like, okay, look in. No one has called for my head yet, so I was like, okay. I made one comment and then ran away.
Defeat that simpleton, but golf will be more than a match for you.
Bring it on, Shorty.
Golf, come here now. Destroy him and make sure it's painful.
This does worry me. Stuart Copeland is a big part of classic Spyro.
Golf, get me
Yes.
out of here.
But I know a lot of people also said that about Crash as well, with Crash's soundtrack, right? So, am I disappointed? Yes. Does it kill the whole game for me? No, absolutely not. It doesn't kill the whole game for me. I know some people were literally saying, hey, Stuart Copeland or bust. I'm not Stuart Copeland or bust. I wasn't Tom Kenny. I wasn't even Tom Kenny or bust. I was, hey, Spyro exists and looked decent, or bust, I guess.
All his meddling has cost me a fortune. If it wasn't for Spyro, I'd be bankrupt. Oh, if Ripto were here, I'd give him a piece of my mind.
Oh, don't worry about that, Victorian.
I'd give him a lot more than that. I was a champion bantamweight boxer at university, and I still know a few moves. Take that! And that. No. Why you?
So Stefan Vankoff is still employed, as far as to my knowledge, at Toys for Bob. He's still there. So I got a feeling that he is going to be involved, and he is going to. I mean, he did a good job on Reignited. I know they went with somebody a bit different. Was it not Walter White, but it was something White. I can't remember, for Crash 4. And Crash 4's soundtrack was good. It was good. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't, but it also wasn't offensive. It also wasn't. It was very atmospheric. Crash 4's soundtrack was very atmospheric. Hannah Vincent donated $10 to Super Chat. Thank you so much. My favorite purple boy must have his Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. No. No. It wouldn't let me say Canadian. Really? They wouldn't let you say Canadian? Why? Well, that doesn't make sense. Thank you, though, Hannah Vincent, for the $10 Super Chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, not Walter White. Wrong. It was something White. The last name was White. I can't remember. Thank you, Hannah Vincent, for your constant support through the years and for the support today. If anyone's trying to donate through Streamlabs and there is any issues, let me know, because I've been hearing some people reporting of Streamlabs issues, and I just want to take a golf club and just, whack them away. So I'm like, Scott White, thank you. See? Wait, no. Scott White was the voice of Crash. There was was the last name White? It's gonna drive me nuts now. Who was the composer for Crash Bandicoot 4? Victorian donated another $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well.
Yes, you teach me how to climb money bags. Yes, thank you. But Walter Mayer, gotcha. See, I was in the ballpark. I was in the vicinity. My brain was almost there. Is it buffering for people? Oh, good. So happy. No buffering on my end. Is Twitch. Are you guys seeing any buffering? I'm not seeing any bitrate issues on Twitch side. Well, let me read it again. Forgot to mention, just for the fun sake, for the sake of Spyro, again, thank you, Victorian, again for the super chat, in case that you missed it. The two mods that you might like, one for Stray, where the cats were replaced with Spyros, and the one with the flamethrower pal in Power World. So I knew of this one from Stray. I knew of that mod from Stray. I did not know the mod from Power World.
Oh, Spyro, hello.
That's the one that, that is the one I was not aware. But yeah, see, I said Walter White, and I thought it was White, but it was Mayer. Then it was Scott White. So, yeah, that's... But Infinite Extremer, because of course it was. Infinite Extremer is an absolute boss at modding. There's a few people, Ghosty, Infinite Extremer, and there's one more, I think, that I'm drawing a blank on, who are just absolute just goats in the Spyro OG scene, especially for Reignited. So, my thoughts about the... So right now, let me give my thoughts real quick about this. So one of the things that I... One of the things... Hold on a second.
You've chosen.
Why do we keep getting buffering? This is driving me nuts. Let me see something real quick. Hang on. Because there should be no buffering. I don't know what's going on. Just to quickly ask, Twitch, are we lagging over on Twitch? I had a thought I wanted to. Just K-Sean donated $5 super chat. Crash 402 with atmospheric, but I wish there was more tracks like Out for Launch or Run It By You, or the boss themes that was more melodic and bombastic. Yeah, they were pretty good. Do you know who had really good soundtrack? Crash on the Run. Like, is anyone familiar with how much of a bop that mobile game had for a soundtrack? That game's soundtrack was awesome. Like, it was genuinely so good. And I was blown away by just how good it was. Tragically, it slapped. You know, that's the perfect way to put it. Tragically, it slapped. Yeah. Why is the Omni Swapper going crazy again? Like, is there anybody in chat who hasn't heard of anything from Crash on the Run? Because, by goodness, it was so good. Oh my gosh. We're getting raided by Deo. Oh boy. Hi! Hi, 102. Party of 102. Hi. I play Spyro a lot slower than he does. Please don't get mad at me. I play Spyro a lot slower. Hi. Oh, hi, Daniel. Hi, buddy.
Say hi and say good night.
Good night. Don't touch.
Yeah, we're not gonna touch the computer, okay?
Hi. We're getting raided by like 102 people.
Whoa, hi.
So, yeah, I play it a lot slower. Wait, who raided? Dale Man, the man, the myth, the legend. I am confused. Yes.
Wait.
Yes, he is one. He is the guy that does the really fast stuff. Yes.
The Astrid bot guy that's jumping.
No, that's Jordy.
Okay.
Don't
Y'all insane.
don't worry.
I have so much respect.
my wife is like, what, is that the guy that does Spyro really fast? Yes, this is the guy that does Spyro really fast.
No, that's Daddy's
No, that's
water.
that's my water.
We're gonna go get some water, okay? Yeah, say good night.
Good night.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, that happened before with David.
Yep, he hit the big power button.
He hit the big power button, and then I was like, oh.
One
bye.
day we'll convert CG to speed running.
He stole an egg. Bye.
Okay, wait,
Egg
what do
thief.
you mean grab an egg?
Grab an egg.
Egg thief! What did you... What? Hi, sweetie. How's your hair? All right, go to bed. There we go.
Little
Egg
thief
thief.
ran upstairs going,
Literally ran away with an egg, a literal egg thief. The timing is impeccable. Sorry, everybody. You can see why I don't play the game fast. Yeah, prime example. I play Chase the Children fast. One day I will do. One day I will. When do we start the speedrunning camp? See, I would start it and I would be absolutely terrible and everyone would be like, maybe you should stop. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. Anyways, to Skelos Badlands or Skelos Badlands. I get corrected every time I say it. Dad speedrun. Basically, it's exactly it. It's a dad speedrun. Thank you, everybody from Deo Stream, for coming over and saying hi. Thank you. Skelly Spyro looks cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Omni Swapper today. It's just, it decided to not wake up. It decided to just, you know. You're on the Disco Inferno one, eh? Once you watch enough OG Spyro, you forget how good the Reignited Trilogy looks. Well, I mean, right now, Spyro's seen better days right now. I don't know what's going on with the mod. Let me see if we can fix this up real quick. Did that seem to do it? Do we have T-pose eyes again? Or are we okay? No, we don't. Okay, we don't have T-pose eyes. Good. Where it looks like Spyro's just staring into the great beyond. So, if you don't have it set up right, Spyro's just like, meh. I'm just like, is Spyro okay? Evidently, the answer is no. No, he's not. Derp Spyro. He's looking into the unknown. Why does it seem like the... Is it just me, or does the fire effects seem less than? Did I get something mixed up on my graphics? Hang on. Where is my... Yeah, it should be fine. Why is it... It will not accept lower quality. But it seems... I don't know. Maybe there's something going with my graphics driver. Yeah, the fire looks a little off. And so did, I noticed that Crush's crushing seemed off too. That seemed off too. But yeah, we have 2 videos in the pipeline right now. One doing a different kind of format that I hadn't done before, and I don't think I've seen done, but it's not like, oh wow. You know, I expected gravity to work, but apparently the Spyro just isn't anti-gravity and just fired the bloody thing into the unknown. I expected curvature. There was no curvature. There we go. Spyro 2 was my favorite. Me and my cousin looked at his PS1 after for an entire week when I was a kid because we didn't have a memory card. But we did beat it before we went back home. First game I have 100%. That's awesome. Do you know how many times I've left games on so that because we didn't have any sort of memory card? Or we did have a memory card, but it was full. And we were like, we don't want to fill it yet. My sister was crazy with her Final Fantasy VII saves. I remember being like, can we just clear the one? And she'd yell at me. No, I could not clear the Final Fantasy saves. That was not possible. He's remembering the war. Yeah, when Spyro's staring off into the abyss. Looking like the, what was the Hypno-Toad from Futurama. Does that fire look a bit better now? Does it look better? I think so. It looks a little better. I think. Oh, well. Looked over. I have 3 monitors, and I get easily distracted by all of them. It is both a help... it's both a help and, you know, not so much of a help. Because when you have 3 monitors going, everyone walks and is like, wow, you must get so much done. And I'm like, yeah, I get so much done, and I get so much more distracted as well. It's, maybe just do the shaders. Maybe. Might have to do something with the shaders. Let me see. Let's go. Why don't we go do the... Let's go embarrass myself and go do the lava lizards, because I always, for some reason, mess up on the lava lizards. Let's go over here.
Spyro,
I would just, like, turn off some of those monitors sometimes. So, whenever I do, I don't know, I have... There might be something wrong with my PC. There was something wrong with my graphics card. But I have an ultra-wide, I have a 4K, and a 4K. And the problem is that the ultra-wide is not 1080p, but these two are 4K. So whenever I do turn one of the monitors off, everything goes messy. It's like if I turn one off and the other one stay on, the screen goes black and then turns back on, and it's like a part of the ultra-wide is over on the other screen. And I'm like, why? And it's all, and then until I have all 3 monitors on, and then it resets and then settles. It's weird. And every time I go to do any sort of graphical changes, like I go to change my background, and it just resets. It's like after 2 days resets. Just goes back to whatever Microsoft deems should be my background. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. At this point, I just not wasting the energy and and shifting it for the upkeep time, because I had some nice 4K Spyro backgrounds that I would use that were like very pretty, and I'd be like, oh, these are nice, and then after the hassle of resetting it 15 times, I'm like, you know what, I'm done. Thank you so much, Flavis the Fawn, for the $5 super chat over on YouTube. Do you mark the absence of Sparks 4 in Sparks 4? Man, we're just skipping Spyro and going straight to Sparks. Do you mark the absence of Sparks in Spyro 4 could mark the return of health bars like in The Legend of Spyro? As far as I'm aware, from the interview or the short Q&A that I did do, it would seem that the absence of Sparks has something to do with the plot. I don't know whether or not they are keeping Sparks hidden because of marketing purposes, or like maybe they change Sparks. Brief fire, dang it. If they change Sparks' look in game and it's applied to the plot, I don't know if it's this one over here. This one. I don't know if they. Where is there? It is. I don't know if he is separated at some point. I don't know if he has been separated at some point. All that it was alluded to, was that Sparks being missing has something to do with the plot. Now, it could be in the segment of gameplay that we saw where they are temporarily separated and then eventually reunited. It could be, I have no clue. It's just, it has been alluded to. I have been pushing to be able to get an interview with either Paul, Lou, or anybody else at Toys for Bob. I have gotten a strong... The answer that I've gotten is yes, let's just get everyone's schedules. I think everyone's trying to get settled in after the summer game mess, which, you know what, this year I was like, man, Summer Game Fest was pretty good, and then, Xbox turned around and was just like, hey, let's put the most lit show on ever and then turn around and give the most heartbreaking news ever. And I'm like, man, where do I even go with this? It's like, what tonal whiplash have we been succumbed to?
Those pesky lava toads.
Yeah, lava toads. I don't get it. I do not grasp nor understand it. It just kind of blows my mind a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey! And Dylan Rose donated $2 super chat. Doing my millionth playthrough of Spyro 1 tonight. That's fair. That's a proper amount. 1 millionth. We're good with that. That's acceptable. There we go. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Again, if Streamlabs is going nuts, let me know, because yesterday I was trying to donate to someone through Streamlabs and it was going not happy. That's the best way to describe it. And we're going to do it another million times. I'm really excited. Actually, now that Deo is here, it reminds me, because there was something I was saying yesterday. Was it yesterday or the night before? Can't remember. I was in VC with a few friends, and we were talking a little bit about Spyro Realm Beyond. I'm really excited for the kinetic flight because also of the speedrunning community. I think could have a lot of fun with it. Because if it's what I think it is, if it's what I think it's being described as, where I believe it is, like the World of Warcraft flight, where it's kinetic and momentum based, I think that could be a lot of fun for a lot of wiggle room and a lot of tips and tricks for people to exploit and find some fun. And I think that could be really interesting to see how people do it. I think that would be a lot of fun, because there were some like speedrunners / racers for World of Warcraft for the Dragonflight, and I think that would be really cool to see. I think that would be really fun to see how people utilize it, and the different tricks that people can find and everything. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun time. I have a video in the pipe.
Spyro. Now I can put my friend back together.
You see, yeah, I heard that they wanted to make sure that it was accessible. Yeah, I heard that they want to make it accessible. I always forget about the skeleton all the way up until it happens. I always forget. I always forget. It's just absolutely just... No. That's the one thing that I have... Oh, not the one thing. It's one of the few things I have a stark stance on. I'm like, no. No, I miss the old Mr. Bones. I miss it. Apparently, everyone at Toys for Bob really liked it. They thought it was really funny. And one few things, I'm like, no. No. Be stamina based with fall damage playing a major role. I'm not sure about fall damage. I'm not so sure about fall damage. I don't think that fall damage should be a part of it, but I think getting stunned, like if you get hit and you fall down, you get stunned. Yeah, it's a very easy game on average. I hope that it's not too easy, though. I'm worried that they pull a... Because when Crash 4 came out... you know, everyone was complaining about its difficulty. And I'm worried that, you know, Toys for Bob is going to pull back a little bit and be like, oh, you know, we're not going to, you know, we're not going to go as hard, and people were complaining about it. And I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm also not, I don't want it to be Crash Bandicoot 4 levels. Like, let me be clear. And I talked about this in my upcoming video where I make it very definitive clear. I don't want it as hard as Crash 4, but I also don't want it to be, you know, a mild, you know, stroll through the park. It's like, you know, have a little bit of bite to it, or at the very least, have a bit of bite in the sense of if you are trying to 100% the game, it has a bit of bite to it. And I'd be down for that. You know, still overall want to be a fun and chill game. With maybe some moments that are a little bit intense, but nothing overly... I feel like enough time has passed that I don't think they think the impressions were just it's too hard from Crash 4. No, there's some people from... I'm worried about an over course correction. That's all I'm worried about.
Excellent.
I know that a lot of people have a lot of different views on Crash 4 and stuff. I liked it. I really liked Crash 4's difficulty. The only thing that I didn't like was there was 2 or 3 specific things that I didn't like in terms of difficulty, and I didn't like the inverted levels. And I didn't like how you had to get that for the 100% completion, because some of the inverted levels genuinely made my eyes, you know, want to explode. You know, my eyes! Or, better yet, if they could somehow bring some sort of adaptive difficulty back, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be really cool if they could bring some sort of modern adaptive difficulty. That would be something that would be really fun to get back. I would love it. See, I didn't mind the insanely perfect. I didn't mind the insanely perfect relics. Again, for me, it was the having to go through it 100%. The inverted. Here is after Crash 4, but it's actually been a bit. Yeah, it has been. It has been a bit. It has been a bit. I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how they implement this stuff. Somebody had made a report, but I gotta double check the sourcing on it, because there is a few accounts on Twitter that are reporting everything, and even though it's not true, or it's not quite, it's not like very well sourced, and there's a few accounts on Twitter that are literally like reporting on literally everything. And there was something that came across my feed that I said to myself, you know what, I'll check that out later, and haven't double checked it back. And when I went back, but it said that Xbox had confirmed that they were going to be very present at Gamescom. Let me see what gems I'm missing here, because I swear I had gotten them all. They said that they had said there was something that was said about Xbox being present at Gamescom and ergo Spyro would be there. But again, I heard that from one place, and typically that place is again, I'm aware of that specific Twitter page being very, shall we say, sensationalized. Very sensationalized, and just, if Bob from the cafe said something, it was being reposted. So, you know, I gotta double check. But I would like to be able to see, because if there's some stuff at Gamescom, typically they'll send some stuff for... Oh no, I very much enjoyed Crash 4. I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Oh yeah, Glimmer is a classic. Excuse me. Yeah, where did I miss those bloody gems? Where did I miss them? I swear I got them all. But yeah, I think that is going to be, and I refuse to pay the bear here. I refuse. We're going to release more Spyro Realm Beyond footage. You know, we don't know. I remember it took a little bit before we saw the first official gameplay of Spyro Reignited, where it was Spyro. I still have the original clip, where we're running through Stone Hill. Mel! We're reading with a party of 5. How's it going, Mel? And how's it going, everyone? And from Mel. You think we will get a new CTR anytime soon? I do think so. Up there. Jeez Louise, I want to punch myself. I do think that we may... Short Stack, how's it going? Forgive me if I am... Nice! Forgive me if my memory is bad, because it sometimes is and or isn't. But is Short Stack your Mel's sister? Forgive me if I... Okay. Haha! See? Sometimes I have a, you know, I think there's more than just Spyro facts in there. Once in a while. See? I was able to remember. Shot Wolf Gaming donated $10 to Super Chat over on YouTube. Hey, CG, hope you're doing well today. You are awesome. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. And you are awesome, too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can't be too far from completion. I mean, they've been developing for nearly 3 years now. Yes. However, you have to remember... Always forget that... Thank you so much, Shadow Wolf Gaming. So... I had to bury... oof! Oof! Sibling rivalry. But... So they've been for nearly 3 years. Yes, but also no. So you have to realize... that when it comes to game development, and I think, you know, other people can jump in and let me know about this, those who have been in the game development scene, but from what I've spoken to, they also had a smaller team, right? So how it was explained to me, if you have a bigger team all focused on one task, things get done faster than the smaller team. However, if that bigger team has to move to anything else or shift their focus on anything else, the bigger the team, the harder it is to onboard and shift and change everything. So if you have a small team, they're nimble and they're quick, but the workload can be done at a decent rate. However, and they can switch and adjust. But if you have these giant teams, it's chugga chugga chew chew. But if anything needs to get shifted, it's all breaks, stop, shift, turn, adjust. So, yes, it's been 3 years, but they haven't... I got ready and run. No problem, Mal. Thank you so much for stopping by. So, the point is that sometimes...
Legend has it.
Because Toys for Bob is a smaller team, they might not be able to get as much done as they would like, typically. Hey, Hannah Vince, I just saw this come in. Let me do Zephyr, and then we will do Trolley. Two-Tail Gamer donating $5 over on YouTube. Hey, CG, here's $5. Wow, thank you. So hyped for Spyro Realm Beyond. The countdown for our Purple Boy's return has finally started. Yes! It has finally begun. It has finally begun. Thank you so much. And then we got another $5. Oh my gosh, we got a $5 donation train from Lord Kazu donating $5. Do you think we might see Spyro Realm Beyond at the next year Xbox Developer Direct? Maybe, but I also think that we're going to see it before then, too. I think we're going to see it before then as well. Because, you know, one of the things that I want to make sure, you know, again, I'm going to be trying to get a list of suggestions and a dossier and stuff to Activision PR to see if I can get a whole bunch of, you know, I know a whole bunch of people have concerns or requests and wants. I'm going to be trying to get that. And I'm going to be trying to get a depth on what does Team Spyro, like what is the mission of Team Spyro? Is it how heavily involved are we going to be? Et cetera, et cetera. So, hi, Tegan, how's it going? You think Spyro will have worlds and levels like the Trilogy? I don't know. I remember describing and hoping that it was something similar to like kind of the core and base idea of Sonic Frontiers, but much smaller hub worlds and much bigger regular levels. But I don't know how that's going to go. We're going to see. We're going to see how that goes. I just hope it's not just one, you know, massive sprawling levels. Right? Did they send you any more treasure boxes? Not yet. I wish they did. That'd be... I'd be down for more treasure boxes. That'd be really cool. Yeah, there's different ways of, you know, different ways for game development to be able to get things done within a certain amount of time. There we go. You know what they could do? They could use fast travel for portals. There was an idea that we were bouncing off of the other night where you could use portals as points of fast travel. Or like, let's say you discover a biome or whatever, a portal shows up there and you can use that to be able to fast travel around a map. If that makes sense. Clearly playing the same level and then glitched out. Zephyr has some bugs. It does. I am making a video. It's currently in edit right now. I have two editors right now working on two separate videos. I have two separate editors working on two separate videos right now as I work on a completely separate project and, you know, keeping an eye out for some of the more impromptu videos. I hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that one because, and also, as long as everything goes well, we should be able to do a Spyro Yap sesh on Saturday at noon. Cliff diving, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Did you like Enter the Dragonfly on PS2? No, it was not. I did not enjoy that game at all. It is. I so much did not enjoy it that it has now become a goal. Oh wait, which by the way, I don't know if we talked about this. Hang on, I don't think we talked about it, but I'm going to quickly show it. For those who don't know, we have cracked 90 90,000 subscribers. That's right. We have cracked 90,000. Let me take a quick look at what our exact numbers are. We cracked it on Monday, I think. But yeah, here we are. We are now at, and then we gain additional 273. So we have cracked 90,000 subscribers. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, or 10,000, when we gain 10,000 subscribers to get 100,000 subs, we are going to be playing through Enter the Dragonfly. For 100k subs, you should play Enter the Dragonfly, but get a mod that fixes it. Play it how it's supposed to be played, no glitches or bugs. But that's half the fun. Half the fun is going through the game while it's broken. That's half of what makes everybody wants me to play it. Right? So, but for those who don't know, when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we will be playing for 12 hours Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Actually, even if I did speedrun it and finish it, with the challenge that's put forward, I have to play it for 12 hours. I have to. Not only that, if we 100% it, and there's still 12 hours remaining, I have to actually restart. I would have to, oh geez. I would have to restart until the 12 hours is filled. Hits 100k on Realm Beyond release day. Hey now. No, we wouldn't, we don't want that. We don't want that. Having said that, okay, there is something that we already have planned. Just because we hit 100k doesn't mean we immediately have to do it. See, I have a plan, okay? I have a plan. See, my plan is when I hit 100k, I'm going to go for the verification. I'm going to do all the stuff. I'm going to do all the things. And then guess what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to wait until my silver plaque comes in. And then I have to not open it. And then when my silver plaque comes in, I then will sit down and then do the 12-hour live stream. And at the end of the 12-hour live stream, I will then be able to open my... I will then get to open the package at the end of the stream. Has another? No, not another teaser trailer. I mean, not to my knowledge. Oh man, I don't know how many things got stuck. I had the one time I had it get stuck on the Jurassic World where the game would crash. The game would literally crash as I entered the Jurassic place and then crash as I left it. It was hysterical. Oh, come on. Get back here, Freedom Eagle. There we go. Bar's looking kind of crazy. Anyone want to fix that? Hey, I'd be down for someone to fix that. I'd be down. And I would appreciate it. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs and why it's giving a very, 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 very precise number to the point where, hey, pay me out 1/100th of a cent, please.
Wow!
What an explosion! And I just saw that we just hit 3,300 followers over on Twitch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do the Dragonfly or Wrath of Cortex. Oh, Wrath of Cortex all day. Wrath of Cortex is... But here's the thing. Wrath of Cortex is just bland. I'm sorry. Like, listen. Is Wrath of Cortex the worst Crash game or the worst game ever? No, absolutely not. But it certainly is very bland. Like, there is just... I got... This is very bland. Very bland. I can't wait for someone to donate pie, right? That's what I'm wondering. I'm loving Boiling Bound, by the way. Hey, I hatch and I draw my lizard Gillick. Still in the... And he hits hard. Yes! Yes, the floating Gillick! The Gillick that's just like, oh, you're standing on your feet? No, you're not. What's your favorite level in Spyro 2? Ooh, favorite level in Spyro 2. When I was a kid, I'd easily tell you Skelos Badlands. Why? Because dinosaurs. That was it. That was the only reason as a kid. I loved Skelos Badlands because I was like, dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs, and I love dinosaurs. As a adult, the Breeze Builders level is really good. I do like Breeze Harbor. I think that's a really good level. Glimmer is a really good level. Oh, gosh. I don't mind Zephyr either. I like Zephyr. I'm trying to think of which one's my favorite. Oh, I love my I love the, and I always forget the name of it. I listen, I've played this game for almost 1,000 hours on PC alone, and I still forget the names because I'm terrible with level names, specifically like place names and level names. I'm awful. My gosh, I'm gonna punch myself because I really do enjoy the level. Is the Scottish with the Scottish fawns and the bagpipes and oh my gosh, the Highlands. Why am I drawing a blank? Hey Katie, how's it going? Wow! First big donation of the stream. We got a $50. Not the first big donation of the stream. Let me rephrase that. I was going to say the donation of the stream thus far goes to Elena. Fracture Hills, thank you. Goes to Elena. $5 for Grandma. She's watching. Please say hi, everyone. Hi. You still have 10 to 11 victory cells places to exit. Might want to play them soon. And 2 sets aside for your choice to get the PAX West or PC repairs. Your choice. Thank you. You know, it may have to be both. But I appreciate that, Elena. Thank you so much for Fracture Hills. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for your kindness and generosity. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Streamlabs bar is like, meanwhile, I would like to be paid in pi. Exactly, please. To the 1000th digit of pi. Big dubs. Yeah, I really do like Fracture Hills. Fracture Hills a lot. Looking a lot like Sandhill right about now, Roger. I like Fracture Hills. It's a really good level. The Alchemist is a pain in the butt, but overall, it's a really fun level. The theme, the music. I love the theme. I love the music. Both the original and the Reignited. I like the Fawn Girls. I think they're cool. It's just a really good. I think it's a really well put together level. The Earth Golems going as they die is one of the funniest things. Do the speedways count? I mean, yeah, if you enjoy the speedway, of course it counts. Favorite level in the trilogy. Now you're really pinning it down on me. Favorite level in the trilogy. It's hard for me to choose. Really hard for me to choose. Two-Tail Gamer donating $5. Here's another $5. Now, Spyro's a Hero's Tale versus Crash to Insanity. Which one would you play/play again? Okay. Let me answer the question before, and then I'll answer this question. Favorite level overall? See, I really love... There's a really nostalgic feeling for Stonehill. Stonehill is a really, really nostalgic. I mean, the music for Stonehill is just elite. Dark Hollow is really good, too. Dark Hollow is really good. I think Reignited Dark Hollow may be one of my favorite levels. It's just, the music is so good. And also too, they kept that level a secret all the way until like you got to play it, because they didn't show anything. They were like, we're not showing Dark Hollow, we're not showing Dark Hollow. So I remember playing through the game and hopping to Dark Hollow the first time, and I remember just being like, bah. Yes, I always start off with Dark Hollow. And the reason why I always start with Dark Hollow is because when I was reviewing Reignited, that was the first level that I went into. I do the same path every time. It's 100% Artisans and then hop into Dark Hollow every single time. And I love Dark Hollow. It's going to be a toss-up between Stonehill and Dark Hollow, I think. They're really good. And it's hard for me to get a final number. What are you hoping the new Spyro game to be? And is there anything you don't want to have? I actually made a video directly about that, where it was called Spyro 4 Things That I Don't Want. I'm trying to remember. That was a video I made last year. I'll tell you what I don't want. I don't want button mashing. Please, for the love of all that's good, I really, really, really don't want button mashing. I don't want button mashing. People are talking about Crash 5 again. I'm not sure what it is that people are talking about. Like, I'm not sure what aspect and what the context of it is. Right now, the only, like, context that I would know, not that I would know, that I would have any knowledge of, would be just from my video of talking about Iron Galaxy. But beyond that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. Yeah, Blink. No Blink. Unless it is, you know, the public roasting of Blink. I do not want Blink anywhere near. No, I don't want Blink. I don't like Blink. I feel like Blink was one. And now to quickly answer the super chat, because the super chat, I don't want to forget the super chat, because I could definitely lose track of time here. So what would I rather do? Crash to Insanity or Crash a Hero or Spyro Hero's Tale? Okay. Here's my hot take. I find a Hero Tale really, really... The writing in a Hero Tale is bland. The writing in a Hero's Tale is a white chicken breast between Wonder Bread. With no salt. It's just... the writing in A Hero's Tale is really... And the story is so buttered bland, it's not even funny. Twinsanity's writing is hysterical. Twinsanity's writing is borderline... Like, I feel like I'm watching something from, like, Ren and Stimpy. And it's good. I really enjoyed Twinsanity's comedic timing, humor, etc. Twinsanity is pretty good. But when it comes to gameplay, Twinsanity is held together by prayers and bubblegum. And it's, you know, it's the gameplay is fine. It's okay. It's not great. And A Hero's Tale at least has some sort of variety. So... And also, you know, Twinsanity's pretty buggy. So, I'm not sure. I may say a hero's tale by a little bit, because at least the gameplay is fine and it's okay and it does a serviceable job. While Twin Sanity, the only reason why you're playing it really is for the writing. The writing in Twin Sanity carries that game. Like, the writing for Twin Sanity is what carries it. If you didn't have the writing for, like, if you had a Hero's Tale writing, Twin Sanity would be abysmal. But the writing for Twin Sanity is just so good, it carries so much of the game. In my opinion. I'm not a big Hero's Tale guy. I understand why people like it. Is Realm Beyond really supposed to be Spyro 4? So we called it by shorthand Spyro 4. That's what we called it by shorthand. Anybody else that tries to say, oh, you know, CG said it's Spyro 4, even though it's not. Hang on a second. I will refer to you. I am going to just show something that I said last year, and I found a clip of it, and I was just like, oh, okay. So, real quick, for those who care, okay? Reviewing some of my old Spyro 4 videos leading up to the announcement of A Realm Beyond, May 23rd, 2025. So this was more than a year ago. In my video here, you can see the quoted video here, which is Spyro 4 is big and ambitious. Okay? That's the video that I made. Okay? To anybody that sat there and saying here, like, oh, CG called it Spyro 4 when it's not Spyro 4, blah, blah, blah. Speaking of Spyro 4, this leads me to another point. Remember how I said that Crash 4 was a by-the-numbers Crash game? Well, I think this video points out that this likely isn't going to be a by-the-numbers Spyro game. If any number of these changes happen to this game, it's going to be kind of breaking out of Spyro's original scope and comfort zone, especially from the original trilogy. I've thought about this for a while, and believe that Spyro 4 possibly won't be officially called Spyro 4. I am speculatively thinking that the 4 is going to get dropped from the title. I'm still going to call it Spyro 4 in my titles and videos until we get the actual reveal, because that's what we've all come to know it as. But I think overall, the final project may have that 4 drop. We'll see though. That's me just spitballing and speculating. Speaking of Spyro, you can clock that. You can look at that from Spyro 4 is big and ambitious. It's right there. It's a clip from it. Okay. So to anybody who has been saying otherwise, that me calling it Spyro 4 means X, Y, Z or whatever. Okay. Yes. I called it Spyro 4, of course, still. Because that's what we know as a shorthand. That's what we called it. Okay? As a shorthand. As a temp title. That it was a placeholder. So anybody that says otherwise...
Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Oh, there's Romeo. You can have this. I don't need it anymore.
So anybody that wants to sit there and say otherwise, ta-da. I'm sorry. Yes, I called it Spyro 4. Also, if you look, I also called it Spyro 4 because it also, and I said this before too, it resulted better in Google search. When you looked up Spyro, I tried testing new Spyro versus Spyro 4 and found that the title Spyro 4 always resulted in better results. So we shorthanded it to Spyro 4 because we just got better SEO results. Why? Because that's what people were looking up. That's what people knew it as. So why am I going to sit here and start forcing a different... Why am I going to sit here and, you know, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Also, it takes up less space. So if I type in Spyro 4 versus new Spyro, I can put more letters in my YouTube titles. I can do literally, it was optimization and what everyone was calling it, and shorthand and placeholder name. Now, if it was called Spyro 4: A Realm Beyond, that'd be neat too. But I had made a video about that well over a year ago, saying that it probably won't be called Spyro 4 anymore. I have no idea if a new Crash game has been greenlit. I have no clue. I don't have any sort of official confirmation. Have I heard rumblings? Yes. Have I heard rumors? Yes. Is it anything that is substantial that I can report on? No. And I'm going to not do that. Right now, my focus is on Spyro. I'm sure there might be some evidence to suggest that there might be something floating around, but right now, my focus is Spyro. It's been 8 years since the last one came out. And not that I'm not going to cover Crash Bandicoot. Of course I'm still going to cover Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash Bandicoot. Having said that, I haven't been looking into Crash Bandicoot stuff as of recently because I've been so heave-ho focused on Spyro. Plus, it's been less than 2 weeks since the game has been announced. So I'm trying to figure out how many times I've played this game. Too many times. And I still love it. Listen, it's a great game to stream to. I'm going to be honest with you. Because here's the thing. One of the things that I love about these games is that I can sit here and I can read chat and I can play through it really easily. There are some games where it's like I have to lock in and I literally cannot read chat while I'm locked in. And it sucks because people are sending donations and people are asking questions and stuff and I can't say anything because I'm so locked in. And while at times those games are great and fun, I also like the games where I can literally just play through. I can literally look over, I can read chat while I'm ripping through and having a good time and enjoying myself. And this isn't going to be the last time I play Spyro Reignited either. And I'm really excited for A Realm Beyond. I really am. Is it up here or is it down there? Is it 2 gems? Yeah, it's only 2 gems. Okay. Okay, so it must be over by the area. I thought I got them all over there, but that's fine. We'll go check. I missed that one. Jeez. Can't play Spyro too many times. Yeah, me trying to do some of the time trials in CTR while trying to read chat was that was a thing. One does not simply play Spyro too many times. Exactly. That's how I feel. Yeah, I've considered streaming, but I wonder how hard it would actually be to play a game as well as interact with people. It depends. There's a balance to it. There's a balance to it. Once you you have to get used to it. Like I said, I also have it set up in a way where, and I gotta see if I can set my Twitch up the same way. Let me see. Can I do that? Let me see. Can I do that? Oh, I can. Yeah, buddy. Hang on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Can I? So, what I do, it's hard to explain, but okay. So, hi, the Mominator. How's it going? So, I have my YouTube chat specifically on my left side because it's on the right. And now I have my Twitch chat on my right, but I can move the chat panel over to the left. So what happens is that I have my monitor here and I have 2 monitors here, but but the chat is within my purview because it's like technically all I gotta do is like, here's my game. All I gotta do is just see this much. And that's it, because I have my Twitch chat right here on the right and it's all the way on its left. And I have my YouTube chat all on my left, all the way to its right. So the one on the left is all the way to the left, or the one on the right is all the way to the left. The one on the left is all the way to the right, if that makes sense. So that it's boop. So now it's a matter of being able to just, have my eyes look over and read and see. What are your thoughts about that? Absolutely, Ron, the Cowboy Coyote. If, okay, I am going to be asking this because the implication of what was said about the Spyro thing was that the community day and like the constant surrounding hype around Spyro helped bring it back. Now, I read that quote and I'm like, okay, I feel like they're talking about the community days as well as other people just kind of in general still talking about the game. So what I want to do is when I can, I want to reach out and I want to have a conversation directly with the devs and actually ask them directly, be like, hey, you mentioned this, you know, and I do want to ask directly about, hey, what about, you know, people making videos leading up to the announcement? What about people doing the investigative content? What about this, that, and the other? And I'm curious to see what the reaction will be when, and ask, does that help? Did that help? Et cetera, to see what the answer is. Because if the answer is yes, boy howdy, that should be a some groundwork for some people to be able to kind of figure out and think to themselves, maybe we should do something too. All right, I'm going to take a short break. 1 second. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom, stretch my bones. I will just give me a few minutes here, and we'll be right back. We'll be doing Breeze Harbor next. Everyone knows that I love having trouble with the trolley, so give me a second. headphones out in the kitchen. 1 second. Left my headphones in the kitchen. There we go. Now we got them back. All right. Hey! Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Ron's Cowboy Coyote for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. If it's all right, I have a question for you. If and when you get to react out to TFB, could you ask them, since they are now ND, would they be interested in visiting other first-party other Ps, maybe a certain Thievius Raccoonus? So, okay. I do want to. So, I do want to ask that question. And theoretically, it is possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ask the question of directly saying the Thievius Raccoonus. I gotta get a vibe for the interview and get a vibe for how things are going. But I do think that there could be an interesting interview question to ask about the potential of bringing back other IP beyond Spyro. Having said that, that is going to apply to Banjo. That's going to apply to Jack. And I gotta be careful with saying it because also they're currently marketing Spyro. So when you're asking a question, you also have to look at it as to what is it that they are trying to do with the interview. They're trying to promote Spyro. If I ask a question that is like, now that we've done talking about Spyro, let's talk about something that has nothing to do with the product that you are currently promoting. And let's look way further in the future to something that's unrelated to Spyro. And the only futuristic questions that would seem to be appropriate at that moment would be to say, hey, can we see more Spyro in the future? And even then, that might be, not a bridge too far, but I would only go that far because they've kind of already gone that far. It's a tricky question to ask. I will see how I can word it, but I got a feeling that asking a question about an IP that they are currently not working on, while they currently are working on a beloved IP that people have been asking to come back, may get a non-answer and or a cold reaction, and you don't want a cold reaction in an interview. You don't want a cold reaction in an interview. So if the conversation flows to a natural point where I can ask that question and it not make it cold, absolutely I will ask that, because I would love to be able to ask that question in general. But I am not I don't think that's going to be a question that I am going to turn around and say, hey, we're going to talk about other franchises outside of Spyro. Maybe in the future, like when the game, maybe in the future, or maybe in a different conversation, maybe. I think that just because Spyro has just been announced, it may not be a great thing to sit there and say, hey, let's talk about other projects. It's hard to be able to be aware, right? That's the problem, is that if we sit there and they say, because here's the thing too. I want you to think of it this way. Let's say, for the sake of argument, yes, they are interested in Sly Cooper. Let's just say they are. What are the headlines going to say tomorrow? if Paul Yan turned and said, yeah, we would love to be able to work on Sly Cooper, there's going to be headlines all over that are just going to be saying Toys for Bob dev is interested in working on Sly Cooper. Oh yeah, also, you know, something related to Spyro too, right? It's not going to come off as... You have to be careful with the questions that you ask. And this is not an offense to you. There's a vibe that you have to get when you're asking questions. There is a vibe that you have to feel. There's a vibe you have to get out. There's a feeling of, is this something that would be an appropriate question at this point in time? It may be an appropriate question, but the timing of it may not be right. So I think that would be a better question for, like, if I were to get someone from Beanox with an unannounced title, right? The title hasn't been announced yet. Sure, to talk about, because if you remember correctly, when Paul Yan spoke to me before, people were talking about Banjo, right? He had mentioned Banjo, and even though the majority of the interview that I had with him related around or directly hinted Spyro, what did all the news report what did all the news outlets report when I posted that video? It was the same thing. Oh, Toys for Bob wants to bring back Banjo. Toys for Bob wants to bring back Banjo. Toys for Bob wants to bring back Banjo. Even though that video was chocked full of other moments that were very reportable and very, like, intriguing and insightful, it didn't matter. Everyone ran with the Banjo story, right? Everybody ran with the Banjo story, and it kind of diluted the Spyro information a little bit. And I'm not complaining about that because, hey, at the end of the day, it was a great scoop to be able to get. Having said that, I can also say that while it was a great scoop, it also diluted the Spyro info. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, Juice Loose is kind of right too, where it feels like if you're like, oh, we're talking about Spyro. Yeah, but what about Banjo? It's going to come off like, I want more, give us more, right? Woo! Jeez Louise. There's a... Hey, Beyond, how's it going? I'm intrigued. Am I a bit bummed that Stuart Copeland is not involved? Yeah. There's a few people that I think are taking it a little too far. I think there's a few people that are really going way overboard. And I'm like, okay, this is either a bot or someone that is making their views as such an extreme hyperbole, or they were a hater from the beginning and they're using it as evidence for, you know, some people, they use hyperbole to be like, oh, you know, Ryan Beveridge is doing the majority of the work by Spyro 3 anyway. I think some people overblow Stuart's contributions. I love Stuart's contributions because I do think Spyro 1 is the greatest soundtrack in the Spyro trilogy, in my opinion. I love Spyro 1's soundtrack. So yes, I do agree that Stuart Copeland is someone that is really important. And I do think that having him involved in some way like Reignited, like him making the title cover for Reignited, even though unfortunately he later said that he didn't like Tiger Train, which I was like, oh, that's a bit of a bummer. He called Tiger Train, quote unquote, a dog's dinner, and that he wished that he would, you know, do it different. I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. But there are a few people that are taking it way too far. And if you want evidence of that, because people always say, CGE talks in hyperbole. Okay, well, here's one. I put Copeland won't be making the music for Spyro Realm Beyond. I said, ah, man. That's all. That's all I said was, ah, man. Because, yeah, sure. I like Stuart Copeland. Sucks, but it's not the end of the world. This is the worst possible news you could possibly give this game. As a fan since 1998, this would legitimately keep me from buying this game. DEFCON 1 level disaster. Oh, okay. Like, that's like, brother, come on. Like, chill out. Yes, Moog. Yes, shout out to movie. Yeah, really? That's your DEFCON 1 disaster? That's your DEFCON 1? Brother, come on. And there's a few other people that have been not like that is the most dramatic I've ever heard for that, but there have been other people on that scale of, oh, well, now my interest for this game has significantly gone down. I'm like, really? Like everyone's expecting that now that Stuart Copeland's not involved, they're about to make the next Spyro soundtrack with nothing but pots and pans and your mother's wooden spoon. Like, like, no, of course not. Like, no, of course not. That's not. All right, hold on. We gotta
trolley, eh?
We gotta do it at least once.
Use the left stick to change lanes. Press the jump button
Yeah,
to jump.
until very quickly that they want to enjoy this game to stop treating like the fourth classic game. Yeah, no, it's like, all right, this is gonna be different. Yeah, no, it's exactly right, Laura. That's exactly right. 100%. Hey, the 1H been a member for 89 months. We're coming up to 90 months. That is incroyable. I arrived at the perfect moment. Trouble with the trolley. Eh? Yeah, I mean, you gotta do one honorary trouble with the trolley. Eh? You have to. You have to do it. But yeah, it's. Listen, and I said it in multiple videos. It is not going to be. It is not going to be Spyro a la Crash Bandicoot 4. No. As I was reading the tea leaves and among other things, I was like, this is not going to be. Oh, we just decided to make a classic Spyro 4 title with some fun, interesting things. Hee hee ha ha ho ho. No, I was like, no, this is going to be different. When you get a quest designer and a combat designer and a whole bunch of these other jobs, even just from the LinkedIn things alone, you're like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a bit more, this is going to be a bit more than what we originally thought in terms of scale. And I also don't think Toys for Bob wanted to make like a Spyro a la classic games. Like, this is gonna be different. Gotta deal with the differences. Some differences you're gonna like, some differences you're gonna not like.
That was great work, Spyro.
And it needs to be that to not get buried in the industry right now. Yeah, right now it's been kind of crazy. Did anyone say that about John Mansell when Crash 4 came out? Some people, but not really, not as much as, Stuart Copeland, because Stuart Copeland is the drummer of the Police, so he is a natural more notoriety. I gotta make sure I pronunciate my words on that. I used to pronounce it as notoriety and notoriety. I'm like, no, it's not. That is not how you pronounce that word. Okay, there we go. And then thanks, Squawk. Hey, Conky, how's it going? Yo, CJ, I must remind you of something. What must you remind me of? What is the reminder? Is it trouble with the trolley? Hey? Is that what you gotta remind me of? Is that what we're doing? Oh, I gotta get my... Oh. Pretty much par for the course for many franchises that move forward. Many don't get their original composer, crash and get Josh back. Some want everything to be exactly the same. Yeah, that's I appreciate that, Scully Streak. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just want to let you know, despite all the haters, I never got lost hope in Spyro, and your videos have always been great. Thank you so much. Right now, Spyro is a golden opportunity because right now it is sitting at 16 million views, And I'm seeing a whole bunch of people starting to make content about Spyro. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people hopping back on making more Spyro art, which is amazing, and referring to... I'm also going to do the Speedway because I always forget it. So I'm going to go do it now. You know, now would not be the time... So a while back, you showed your Spyro wallet and it was in bad shape. You said you would not get another wallet until Spyro's announced. You still have that wallet? Because time for a new one. Dude, once my stuff is on over, the Sarb reveal is forcing my hand to get the short form content game. I have to ride the wave. Ride the wave! Do it. Absolutely. Okay. So, Garnet, I have something sad to announce to you. I had no choice. Here we go. Are we ready? You can call me a fibber. You can call me a failure. You can call me what you want. Here's my current wallet. Now, let me explain. I wanted to hold on to that promise so hard. Unfortunately, the wallet that I had, the Spyro wallet that I loved and adored, I loved it and I adored it. My wife threw it in the washer by accident. And it was toast. Remember how rough and how bad it was? When it got thrown in the wash, it got wrecked. It wasn't, oh, it's just kind of wet. No, I'm talking 4 pieces. I'm talking the entire pleather, the purple pleather looked like it went through a bloody wood chipper from Fargo, all on the inside of the bloody dryer. It was done. It was cooked. It was rotisserie, fried, dried, and jerkified. It was done. And so I had to break my promise and I had to buy a new wallet. But since then, I've had the same wallet. I haven't jumped wallets, but I was forced to have to buy a new wallet. So, Dagger, I am sorry. However, if we want, we can try to go for a new wallet. I'm okay with that. If we can find another Spyro wallet, if they're releasing a new line for A Realm Beyond, I will buy it and I will replace it. But I had to. I had no choice. We had 2 donations that came in. By the way, I have a very good long-term... yes, you do. All right, here we go. Titans Forever has been a member for 10 months. Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for the support. Juice Loose has been donated $5 through Super Chat. If you had to live in a 1 Spyro 2 homeworld for a week, which would you pick? Love to your wife and kids from the announcement Realm Beyond. Thank you, Juice Loose. I would love to be in Autumn Plains, I think. I think Autumn Plains would be really beautiful. I think that would be such a blast. Thank you so much. Raven147 donating $10 to Super Chat. Thank you so much. Happy to tune in without hearing Trouble with the Trolley, eh? Happy to see your playthroughs of your favorite Purple Dragon. Nice wallet, by the way. No, not the wash. Yeah, no, the wash. It was ripperoni, pepperoni. It was dead. It was murdered. It was murdered. So, yeah, it was just cooked. Absolutely cooked. Not good. So, thank you, everyone, for the support tonight. Yeah, no, we are really... A Realm Beyond has absolutely blown up all my other Spyro shorts, which I'm, like, super thrilled by because I had planned for that. And it's nice to see the seeds of my planning work. I was like, okay. Victorian donated $5. I actually plan on saving $300 aside just for a Realm Beyond merch. Probably the smartest thing I could do. That's a good idea, Victorian. Thank you so much for the $5. That is a good idea. Set aside that money.
Hello there.
If they do like a Spyro like controller, like an official Xbox Spyro controller or anything along the lines of that, I would flip. But yeah, no. All of my YouTube shorts I did of Spyro have been popping off. They've all been popping off, and they all been doing great. My number one Spyro, my number one Spyro video actually wasn't even my most recent videos. My number one Spyro videos have actually been my Spyro shorts that I had released over a year ago. Because I had planned, the idea and the plan was to release these shorts in preparation and hope that when a new Spyro would be announced, my channel would be deeply seated with Spyro content, so that, and then everything would be bouncing and reverberating off of each other and redirecting and deeply seeding into the algorithm. That was there was a plan. So I had made, when I made that Spyro Iceberg video, I tried to make, because at the time YouTube had a limit on so at the time, let me explain this. At the time, my YouTube, YouTube only allowed 1 minute shorts. And I had come up with the idea when I did the Spyro Iceberg video. As I was writing out the facts for the Spyro Iceberg video, I thought to myself, you know what I should do? I should try to keep most of these facts to being at a minute or under longer, so that I could take a snippet from each of the fact that I talked about in the video and turn it into a short. And the idea was that I would release a whole bunch of those shorts based off of the Iceberg video and linking to each other, so that when a new Spyro game would come out, even in the shorts algorithm, I would be deeply seated there. And then because of my years of content of Spyro 4, I was deeply seated there. And the whole point, it was kind of a calculated risk. I'm not going to say it was a gamble, because I knew it was going to come, but it was a calculated, okay, if this game doesn't get released, I'm in trouble. But it was a, kind of putting all my chips on double black, knowing that it was going to hit double black, hopefully. And it did. It did hit double black. So I'm happy about that, because now in the past week, my one Spyro short gained 100,000 views just like that. Just, you should see the view charts. Funny, because it's like consistent, and then it does this. It's like prepare for launch, and it's like, yeah, that's just. That was my thought, right? That was my thought process was, hey, can we get ready? Can we have all this stuff ready for when the game comes out, right? You literally put your channel on the line when you said it was in development. Let me say this. I could have said a lot more, and I didn't, because I didn't want to lose my channel, or two, get in trouble, and 3, keep a good relationship. See, it takes a lot to be somebody that can report about the game being in development, give just enough information to not get in trouble, and still be in good relations with the company that you just reported the game being in development about. Have you guys ever seen the movie Sinbad? And you ever see him walking across the tightrope and him saying left, right, left, right, left, right, and almost falling? That's what it felt like. It was like, how do I do this? How do I... Because if I just come out and just talk about it, 1, people say, oh, we don't believe you. 2, you can get in trouble. And 3, you just make the company that you want to work with angry, right? So it's like, okay. So how do we talk about this strategically? Not leak a massive amount of information, but say just enough to provide evidence of just enough to show that it's in development, that somebody who technically could figure out if they were able to get the right pieces of information together. So it's very much like, how do we do this? How do we do this without, you know, without doing that? How hard was it to say anything about the treasure chest under NDA? It was very hard. It was very, very hard. It's very hard. But again, technically speaking, I read the scroll to you guys. I read the scroll. All right, I read the scroll, and the NDA that I signed didn't mention anything about release date. So technically speaking, leading into the Xbox showcase, only based off of the scroll and what I signed, I was not sure. Based off of that, based off of only that, I wasn't sure. So I had, we got a $1 Streamlabs donation, first Streamlabs donation of the stream. Dad Jokes donated $1. I bought a singing computer recently. It's Adele. Yeah, Adele. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Thank you so much for the $1 Dad Jokes. We appreciate that. And you made the bar not so crazy. The bar is now more sane. We got 356 of our $1,500 goal. Because here's the thing, is that now that the game is out, or now that the game is, you know, announced, I think I can open a little bit more on that. When I went to go report that, somebody had told me, now how valid that rumor was or not, I'm not sure how valid the rumor was, but there are internal conversations and then there's external conversations. There's a lot of internal conversations that a lot of people don't hear about when it comes to, you know, when you have people reporting and you have people, I wouldn't say insiders, but, you know, insider adjacent. And somebody had told me that somebody was thinking about leaking a whole bunch of stuff for the new Spyro game. And I didn't want all the information to get out there and for things to go squirrely. Dad Jokes, donate another $1. Seriously? Are buses just traveling dating services now? Last 3 people who boarded asked for singles. Are buses just traveling dating services now? Last 3 people who boarded asked for singles. I feel like I'm missing the joke on that one. I get, like, buses, singles, you're single. I get the concept of the joke. I feel like I'm missing it. Feel like I'm missing the joke. I appreciate the donation, but I feel like I'm missing the joke. And I apologize that I'm missing the joke. I feel like that's going over my head. Single C? Is that what the joke is referring to? I'm sorry if I'm missing it. So, when it came to talking about Spyro 4, I will call it as I said it was. I said that I called it Spyro 4. And yes, if you want to be technical, that the game's not called Spyro 4.
Now there's only one satyr left to rescue.
Here's the thing. Is I was told that there was someone else that wanted to talk about it. And there was a part of me that was like, I don't know what they're going to talk about. I don't know what they're going to talk about. And I didn't want them to start dropping information, a whole bunch of information that maybe Toys for Bob may not want out there. So I sat there all weekend trying to figure out, how do I report this? How do I talk about this? What do I do? And I thought about not reporting about it. I thought about straight up just not reporting about it at all. Right? Like, I was thinking about just not talking about it at all. Just not even a little bit. That came across my mind. And when I was talking, when I sat down, I was talking with somebody. We looked down at the evidence that we had. We looked at the public evidence between Jez, because Jez was a big proponent in that story coming out, and a few other things that came together. We sat down and we looked, and the suggestion that came was, if you piece these things together, you're already 95% of the way there. Right? Like, it was like, when you look at that, like, if you exclude my talk, you exclude my chatter, you're 95% of the way there of confirming it was Spyro 4, right? You're already there. So it was kind of like me going, I can confirm this, was, you ever see Sonic with his foot going tink on the robot? That's how I thought it as, was like, okay, we're already there. Like, there was already enough information out there to be able to come to the conclusion of, you know what, this probably is Spyro. But I was like, okay, if we're already 95% of the way there, why don't we just go bink and call it a day? And that's what we did. And as far as I'm aware, everyone was okay with what I said. We got another $1 from Dad Jokes. I woke up and found out I lost 3 feet in height. I ran to the doctor and shouted, "Doctor, doctor, I'm shrinking." He said, "You'll just have to be a little patient." Oh, yep, there. I got that one right in the solar plexus. Ow. Thank you so much for the $1. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are now at 358 from filling. We are now at 358 in total. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought so hold on to your horns was a pretty prominent hint, but there was still a lot of people that were just like, no, it's just, it doesn't mean that. I was like, I'd say it's pretty significant. And yeah, the timeline has still been like, the timeline from what I reported is still, like, to my knowledge, like, still all put together. Like, I thought that,
Oh, a dragon!
I personally thought that, I thought that, the hold your horns was a pretty, like, heavy-handed hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But there was still a lot of people that were like, no, and then other moments where they were like, no, and I was like, okay, well. And yeah, the timeline stayed the same. They said that right when they went indie was when the game went into development, and we know that now that we can look back and look at some of the job listings that outright said that, yeah, the major pitch that got the game, that got the company literally their thing approved. I think that, and now that we know that it's Spyro, okay, I think that we could come away saying, like, okay, yes, the development time was bang on the money.
Thank goodness you broke that door down for me. I thought I'd be stuck in here forever. I found this fancy orb in here. Please, take it.
That is always satisfying to get the 3 laps and then break the door. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I feel like looking back, it was that Microsoft allowed them to go indie. There is some... Yeah. You know what? Let me put it to you this way from what I heard. I am not going to directly say any statement. Okay? I am not going to directly say any statement. Let me repeat myself. What I'm about to say is not a direct statement. Understand that what I'm about to say can be considered as speculatory and can be considered as legally binding conjecture. With that out of the way, what has been in the reports recently about 3 studios that have been reported to being shut down? However, then news came out suggesting that a deal might be coming forward for them to go independent to save them from getting shut down. Funny how Toys for Bob went independent after the acquisition. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Y'all have no idea. You have no idea. Dad jokes donated $1. My friend wanted me to see his new dog. I asked him why he has a dog lead attached to a cauliflower. He said it's his border collie. Oh, that's awful. I love it. A border collie. Listen, I am not confirming nor denying anything. I am saying what I'm said is what was suggested to me and conjecture and blah, 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 blah. So nobody can sit here and be like, oh, CGE is saying that this, that, and the other. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Okay? Right in the face! Hotshot just donated $100 through Streamlabs. Here, I'll do a verbal victory noise. Ba 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 ba. Oh, jeez Louise. Thank you, Hotshot. We're now at 459. If you want to contribute to the bar, there is a link in the description below. Oh my gosh. $100. Thank you, Hotshot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. $100. Thank you, Hotshot. You are amazing. Thank you. That is incredible. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll tell you what I was told. I'll tell you what I was told in regards to, I'll say this. I am saying that this is not me. I am saying that this is what I was told by a source while we were at PAX East, which I didn't mention in my video. I'll say this. I will add one additional detail to my original Spyro 4 report that I did not mention, and I will say now. I was directly told by this person that by their professional opinion was you want this Xbox deal to go through. If you love Toys for Bob, you want this deal to go through. That is what I was told. I was told if you love Toys for Bob, truly and wholly, you want this Xbox deal. You want it, you need it. That is what I was told. Well, that's not ominous at all. That's what I felt. I was like, oh, great. So, take with what I say with grains of salt, and I will not sit here and argue and debate with you. I'm not going to sit here and argue and debate and this, that, and the other about how legitimate this, that, and the other is, because I'm not. I don't need to. Okay? It was, you want this deal to go through. And also, if you can take a look at, if you want to take a look at what's going on right now with 3 different studios under Microsoft that were originally slated to be initially reported as shut down, but then was clarified that they could be bought out or could be spun off as indie, which is Compulsion. Was it Compulsion? Don't tell me. Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and I can't remember the studio that did South. Was it South of Midnight? No, and Double Fine. Double Fine. Okay, those are currently the situations that they're in right now. Is either get spun off, get bought by another publisher, or shut down. Okay? It's interesting how one of those options were the same, was the same thing that Toys for Bob did. So trust me, I would say I don't think it would be a far stretch for me to say that the stars aligned perfectly for Spyro. The stars aligned in a very, very good way. And we were tippy toes, stippy steps, tiny from disaster. And Toys for Bob, in the absolute unhinged gamble that they decided to go on,
Oh, hi, Dragon Boy. You're probably expecting me to say,
was like, you know what? Let's go for it. And they went for it. And they got it. And then not only did they got it, they then turned around and produced something that we all wanted. Go big or go home. That was essentially it. It was wind up. Trust me. There was leading up through all that situation, bro. Okay. Leading up to that whole situation, I was having stress sweats, stress dreams, and I was losing my mind. Okay. During that whole weekend, I was so sick to my stomach. During that whole time, actually, it was right before PAX. Leading up to it, I was so sick to my stomach. It was awful. It was terrible. It was, and I'm sitting here and I was like, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? What is going to happen? I remember when I initially read that the Toys for Bob studio was being shut down, when later on they clarified it was the physical studio, there was a moment. A moment for myself where I thought I saw all hope gone. All of it. There was a moment where quite literally I sat there as I'm reading my phone and my hands are shaking. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. What's going to happen? And then when it was clarified, and then they said that they're going to India, I was like, okay, we're okay. And then once things started to come out, it was like, hold your horns. I was like, oh, thank goodness, did we just thread the needle?
Hello.
And then the next thing was, okay, let's hope this project doesn't get canned. And it didn't. And everything went, so far as I'm aware, well, from what I've heard. And c'est la vie, here we are now. And when you guys saw me jump and cheer and scream and shout for that reaction for the reveal, y'all have no idea the feelings that came up. The feelings of just absolute relief, hype, excitement. It was... I have a feeling that Moneybags will appear in Realm. Yeah, oh, probably in some way. How do you process so much information going through your brain all at once, CG? You know, process is a really good word. Process is a... let's just say that my reaction was unprocessed. It was no thoughts, no thinking, just... As a joke beyond Xanos, it's who said it was processed? like who said it was processed? I'm like raw. It was like raw milk, bacteria and all. Just brain go brrr. Yeah, I know, brrr. That was it. It was like, like, geez Louise. I hope one day we can do. There could be like. I hope one day there is some sort of documentary. I really do. And I really hope that one day there's a candid interview where, maybe not a documentary, but at least a candid interview about what happened. If you want to see an unprocessed CGE reaction, check out the Zelda livestream where you got a $10,000 donation out of nowhere. Yeah, that was a... That's okay, Hannah Vincent. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate that. No, I still remember that moment. I genuinely hope that Dark Paladin is doing okay. I remember trying to reach out to him at some point. I think he's off Discord now. But I miss him. I do. I really do. I miss Dark Paladin. I remember he was super funny, he was super cool, super supportive, more than just that in so many ways. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. And I was hoping that maybe the announcement of Spyro would be like a rallying cry for some old supporters to come back and some old fans and some old viewers. And there definitely has been. But there's still a few out there that I haven't heard from yet that I'm like, ah, man. Okay, so now I'm curious. How do you feel when you thought the game was coming, but many people were actually losing hope? I was... What I was most disappointed by was that there were some people who have been dedicated viewers of the channel who I know are super kind and super amazing and are super positive, that in the face of the Xbox showcase, because listen, you have doomer boomers, right? You have doomer boomers, which you deal with every stream. You deal with doom. We're still dealing with them. They're like, oh, well, the game's gonna look like butt anyway. The game's gonna look terrible. The game's awful. Right? Like, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So that doesn't bother me. I just say, okay, you know, okay, sure, bud. You know, sure, Jan. But when there were some people that I know who were active, like, supporters of the channel, and or, you know, I know who are super positive, who were being very gloom and doom, I was... Is Trev here tonight? Charles? Yeah, I didn't see him in chat. If if Trev is here, hi Trev. I didn't see him. He's, you know. But yeah, it's when it's coming from people that I know who are super positive and who started to get that dooming sense, I did feel I feel like disappointed is a strong word, but it was disappointing to see.
Hey, Spyro.
And
I'm ready.
but when it was revealed, and there was one thing that I don't know what happened. I think my chat glitched out because for some reason you can't look at the chat on the live replay, and I so wanted to read the chat on the live replay. I wanted to see the chat on the live replay. So we saw Activision Presents. Yeah, that was... I knew it too. I knew as soon as I saw Activision, I was just like, oh, is this it? Is this it? I was like, oh, please let this be it. And it was it. And seeing the purple lad was so satisfying, man. So bloody satisfying. I was so happy.
Okay, you win.
I'm doing well, I can say that. He pops by on streams on occasion, but he's very busy with real life work and family, but he'll be back soon. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. I love Mr. CG. You do the research, you proved to be reliable, and I had a strong feeling you had inside knowledge too. Hi CG, previously known as my name is Josh Harper. I remember Josh Harper. You told me much of the legend of Tarzan sucked, and also the Assassin's Creed film. Love your work. I do remember that. I do remember that. I do remember that. I remember Josh Harper. Now Juice Loose. Well, thank you for the $5 and welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. And yes, I still stand by the live action Tarzan movie. The one that was recent was just awful in all caps. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't awful. It was awful. It was terrible. Oh. Like, we were like, what on earth is this movie? It was just so bad on all levels of the word bad. I still stand by that statement. I think there was a planned sequel that, like, after that movie bombed so hard that they were like, never mind. I was like, yeah, that movie was just terrible. One more. That one's cooked. There we go. Done!
You're really good.
Not enough Phil
I'm gonna
Collins.
have to come up with some harder games. For now, I'll take this orb. I guess.
I read the shooter store when everyone was searching for facts, and they were like, shooter! Yes. Yes, I remember that. I do remember that. I forget. They're like, shooter. because we were just like, we've told a lot of really funny stories in this channel. There's some legendary stories on this channel, man. But you know what? I still hold out hope, because I remember I mentioned Sire, and then he actually came back for a short stream, said hi, and I remember Sire. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have been, you know, such an amazing supporters over the years, and there's a lot of people who are still here. Like, I don't want to sit here and dwell on, you know, just all the people that aren't here anymore. I do want to give an appreciation and shout out to everyone who is still here, which is amazing. And whether it's 1 donation or 1,000 donations, or whether it's, you know, just likes and just hanging out. You know, there are people who've been here for years. And I am just grateful to all of them who have been here. I am just super happy and super grateful that, you know, and I'll remember these, and I'll remember the names and stuff when I'll remember these names. Where, let's say, I hope Spyro 4 explodes. Oh my gosh, I hope Spyro 4 or A Realm Beyond. Just know that they're synonymous. That A Realm Beyond just explodes in all the best ways possible. That it is, that it's successful. That people love it. That it gets all the 10 out of 10s. It wins all the possible game awards possible. You know, I want to be the Spyro sweep. The Spyro sweep. I want it to be where, you know, Xbox is like, wow, this franchise is really good. Maybe we should make more of these. I said, yeah, you should. You really should. I need to get back to putting shirts back for sale again. I need to do an updated mustache one.
Thanks for closing the lid on the volcano, Spyro. Things were getting a little too hot around here. By the way, here's a talisman I was saving for the party later.
Man, you can tell Insomniac was just like, what are we going to call this font? I don't know, the Bippo. Absolutely, Toyo's World. I would love to be able to do that. I would love to be able to, you know, go to certain events. I would love to be able to do, like, meet and greets and such.
Hey, Spyro. You're just in...
You know, honest, the Spyro cameo were getting a little annoying. I said, yeah, that's cool, but where's his game at? I understood that sentiment. Yeah, I get it. You know me. I'm like Spyro, and I'm happy, right? But I understand people being like, okay, you know, Spyro being involved here is cool, but can we get, you know, can we get a little bit more something? Can we get a little bit more, you know? Do you know what would be so funny? I'm just gonna put it out there. Actually, I don't know if it would be a good idea. Oh no. Oh no. Would it be a good idea? Would it not be a good idea? Oh no. Oh, okay. What we know that Toys for Bob stated they were the ones that were in the news when it came to Toys for Bob being like, oh yeah, it'd be really nice to see the bear and bird combo come back. What if there's a Banjo-Kazooie reference in Spyro Realm Beyond? What if they do a Banjo-Kazooie reference in a Realm Beyond in some sense? Because now that it's technically owned by Xbox, you can't do that to Banjo fans. Like, that's not fair. What if there's a skin where Spyro's like a bird and Spark or no, Spyro's a bird and Sparks is a little bear. I know I was going to say that, you know, Spyro would be the bear and Sparks would be the bird. But what if it was the other way around? What if Spyro was a red bird and Sparks was some sort of horrifying flying little bear? Oh, it'd be great to get a new banjo, but that would be like... It's just diabolical. Oh, that would be just... That would be... Oh. Sparks has like the toddler bear zip-ups. Yes! Yes, he's got little ears. And because he's got 6 legs, he's got 4 of them through and then 2 are breaking through. In Spyro some red sassy bird. Oh, that would be diabolical. And they could make it like a name like Forgotten Mascots. Oh! Ah! Forgotten Rare Mascots. Oh! Name a faster way to get a Banjo Kazooie. Name a faster way to get a Banjo Kazooie fan to start drinking. Oh, that'd be awful. Garnet Dagger donated $10 to Super Chat. I have to get going, but on some people who haven't come back, I'll still be here. Your favorite Aerith lover, of course. I remember that, Aerith lover. We'll still be here. I was happy to meet you back in 2023 at PAX. Yes, likewise. Likewise. And I hope that's not the last time that we see each other. I hope that we get to hang out and see each other again, Garnet Dagger. Thank you so much for $10. Just find a way to be able to... Sure, Admiral, if you want to email it to me too, that'd be funny. Oh, that would just be horrible, but it would be so funny. Like, I feel bad for laughing because I am a Banjo fan myself, but I'm also a Spyro fan. So I get my mascot platformer, thing fixed. What if you weren't a Spyro fan, you were a Banjo fan? I think after the Project Sparks, was it Project Spark or whatever, where they brought Conker back and it was like, oh, Conker's back, and then he's like, oh, we're gonna make a game together. I put some nostalgia on Twitter. Oh boy, hang on a second, Charles. Let me take a look. See here first. Oh, I skipped it by mistake. Okay, Charles posted this video. Since you reminisce of the older times, here's the old pack stream with the donations kept on. Oh gosh, I think I remember this one. Yeah, how old is this one? Yeah, watch. So I was just sent this by Charles. This is for PAX. Yeah, this was for PAX. So I'm feeling fine. Give me mid-finish, get set up, and we shall begin. And before we even begin, as in Moses... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Trev?
2 hours later.
Okay. No.
A few moments later.
That is where the bar is at for now. 35. It's not going to go up anymore. That's it.
12 seconds later.
If that gets filled again, I'm just... Yep. I remember that. I'm feeling fine. Give me mid-fish. I do remember that. How could I forget? How could I forget? How could I forget? That was legendary. All right, I'm going to get set up for the next level, and I'm going to take my last break for the stream. Oh, gosh. And that's why we have one of the... This is why we have one of the best supporting... Some of the best supporters ever. And I am just over the moon to be able to have a supportive community like that. And it blows my mind every time. It blows my mind every time. And I am not exaggerating where I think that we have one of the most supportive communities in all of YouTube. Will it happen again? I mean, I would love for it to happen again, but of course, you know, those things are rare, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for that to happen, and I remember that it was such a blessing for that to happen. And when it happens, you are grateful and you're happy when it happens, but you never expect it. You never expect it. You never expect it. So give me a second here. You never expect it, but you never know. So, all right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Just gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Last break of the stream. I'll be right back. Oh, my body! One second. Okay, I'll be right back. Here, I'll grab this with me too. 1 second.
I'm back.
All right, I am back. Hey, Arts the Dragon, how's it going? Sorry if I was AFK when you arrived. Sorry. Stanley! How's it going, my friend? Sorry about that. I had to quickly run to the bathroom, do the, regularly human bodily functions. Thank you so much for the $1. Lord of the Dragon. Sand of the Dragon tipped. Hey, now, they were British regulars, by the way, CG, not Canadians. What? They were British regulars, by the way, CG. Hey, no, they were Canadian. They were Canadian. Don't you? Don't. They were Canadians. Not distant. They were Canucks. Yeah, we were having a debate about this, a semi-quasi debate about this the other day. Really? Hit that, hit that. Hey, Caitlin, how's it going? What? I'm gonna fail this one. Whee! Good. I am doing just peachy fine. We're missing a skydiver. Which? Where? Have I gone crazy? Maybe I have. This is the speedway I loathe the most in Spyro 2. This one is... Don't like this one. Hey! We just got another Streamlabs donation from... Lord of the Dragon donated another $1. Canada didn't exist yet. And... we would become Canada. Okay? We would become Canada. It was Canadians. It was Canadians, I tell you. It was Canadians, I tells ya. Canadians, eh? Thank you so much for the $1. But it was Canadians! Skydivers. Woo! I know I missed a Las Pijanos. Can we fly low enough? I guess not. And then up here. Yeah, Spyro just literally shows up and he's just like, hey, yo, how's it going? Oh, you live here? That's nice. Everyone dies. And these walruses are just like, hey, we're just warning you not to go this way. And Spyro's like, nah. Hey, kid, you can't skate here. You can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna mess this up. Come on, dude. Ah! Ah! Even after, George of the Jungling it. Even after George of the Jungling it, yes, I still expected to get that, What we're gonna do, we're gonna do this. Y'all can keep doing your skydiving. You're skydiving and you're, you know, hee-hawing and the hee-hee and the ho-hos. I am doing a ridiculous path. This path makes no sense. What am I doing here? Oh no. Yeah, this is not the smart. This is not the way. Yeah, this is not the way. Try to do a different path that was completely different. That was no bueno. Why are we here? Just to suffer. That's pretty much it. Why's my phone going off? There we go. A really good impression of what? What did I do? What voice did I try to do? I don't even remember what I said. Talking about... Oh yeah, we just have to censor literally. I can't believe he... Yeah, I can't believe he doesn't know the way. Do you know the way? Do you know the way? I do not know the way. Do 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 do. Victory! All right, now we gotta go find the mayor. Ah! Don't die.
We've been having a crime problem here in Metro Speedway, but I think you might be able to help. A band of...
Ah, yes. Mayor Ace Mayor. Vote me. I was just here to suffer. That? I don't know. Are we here just to suffer? That voice? No. That's... You just go from there to... Don't mind me. If you voice a character in Realm Beyond, what kind of character would you want? The craziest one. Yes, yes. The engine like the. I was right. I was right. Yes. You know that type of voice, the full on like he's lost his cracker. His cheese dung gum slid off his cracker. Absolutely. You gotta be the you know. Ah, yes, I'd be a hierarchy, 100%. You sound like engine. Yeah, so there is the unhinged, yes, and then there's the, you know, and then there's the yes, engine, yes. Don't touch my cart. It's a little different, just slightly different. But it's very similar. Very similar. That or the laid back, like really stereotypical. Oh, how's it going, eh? Oh yeah, eh? You ever see them dragons down there? You know, either one of those. You either go with like the really stereotypical Canadian that is, you know, oh, how's it going, eh? Oh yeah, eh? Yeah. Me and Bob are going down to the fishing hole, eh? You know, you gotta lean it. So either play off of my insane ranting and raving, or play off the fact that I'm Canadian. Oh yeah, bud. Ow. We ride our polar bears through the story, eh? When it's nice and breezy, we take out the moose to go down to get my double and my timbits, eh? And my sour cream glaze, eh? Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, sorry, bear. That was the same. That was the yeah. That was the Bob and Doug McKenzie, the same voice actors that did Bob and Doug McKenzie did the moose in Brother Bear. If you guys don't know what Bob and Doug McKenzie are these Canadians that are like these stereotypical Canadian guys from, was it Saturday Night? No, was it? I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the thing that they were a part of, but it was like, oh yeah, eh? And they became really, really popular. And then they were the voice. It was Rick Moranis and oh yeah, my reaction to Realm Beyond. I was losing my marbles, eh? I've sent you a bit. Oh no, you sent me a bit. Oh no. Okay, so poutine is really good. What have you sent me? What is this? Like Crash Bandicoot. And don't you say Crash Bandicoot is a dead IP now, or I swear I will come through this screen and I will grab you and rip you by the... Yes! Yes! You got the... I'm so happy. You got the... Yeah, okay, I'm downloading this and sharing this to everybody. Okay, so... I forgot to instruct you on it, and you got it perfect. So, kudos to you. Okay. Hold on a second. So, here is an 8-second sneak peek to like Crash Bandicoot. And don't. Here's an 8-second sneak peek to to the video that we're working on right now. Like Crash Bandicoot. And don't you say Crash Bandicoot is a dead IP now, or I swear I will come through this screen and I will grab you and rip you by the... Yes! Yes, thank you. I will admit, part of that wasn't scripted. And I kind of was like originally it was scripted. I scripted it as, and come on, don't say that Crash Bandicoot was a dead IP. Come on now, or it was something like that. And then as I was reading it, I was like, nah, I can't do that. That's not how we do it. And then I did that. I felt that was more befitting for how I feel. I love how you lowered the bit rate and made it more crunchy. It was perfect. Rhythm and Tempo donated $2 through Super Chat. Bro out here laughing like Ripto and Enter the Dragonfly. Me? Well, you know, that guy. Me? Laughing like Ripto and Enter the Dragonfly? I appreciate the $2, though. Thank you so much. Don't. There we go. I think mine is slightly behind. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. Don't touch me, don't touch me. And boop! And last but certainly not least, that. There you go.
Thanks for your help.
Yeah, when it comes to my impressions, I just have a random bag. I mean, the frills are kind of hair-like, I guess. Yeah, no, I have just a random bag of impressions that barely have any sort of connection with each other. You know, you have engine, you have Stitch that sounds, as a kid it was Stitch, but now sounds more like Meatball from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Sparks. And not an okay Cortex, but not that great. With practice, I can do a decent, wow! A decent classic Crash. Whoa. Yeah, it's just random. Just a random bag of impressions. I say Sparks? Yes, I did. I do a bit of... I have to warm my voice up to do Golem, but I can get to a decent Golem. A serviceable Kermit. Like I said, serviceable. An okay Yoda. Just random, like, impressions that are just, like, semi-okay. It's the Sparks Christmas album. That's right. There you go. Sparks. My voice doesn't hurt. I can do a half decent, yeah, hey man! Behold the might of Skeletor! Which is not bad. Yeah. No, there's just a whole bag of just like... I used to be able to do a decent Krusty. Not anymore though. I used to do an okay Krusty the Clown. Worst movie ever. It's been a hot minute, so I've done that one. So comic book guy. If I do a I used to do a decent auto, like, whoa dude. I used to be able to do a half decent auto, but auto's not that hard. Which is the bus driver. some days I can do Shaggy and Scooby. Some days I can't. Just sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. The one that a lot of people really like is the one that people always suggest to me to do is Engine. Engine's the one that a lot of people really like for me to do. Hey, Kim Productions, how's it going? I could do the slapstick Arnold. Do it now. You know, the very slapstick parody Arnold. In that case, I sound like the Thor from StarCraft 2. Thor is here. Do it. Yeah, which is the stereotypical.
Hey, Spyro, we need those flags.
I mean, I think it's pretty funny. I mean, you know. I haven't been able to. It has been a hot minute since I've been able to do. Since I've seen Kirby Right Back at You, so I wouldn't be able to know what King DD sound like. That was yeah, basically. About to be get to the chopper. Do it now. What's the matter, Dylan? Do they have you pushing too many pencils? I appreciate that. Any Sonic impressions? I mean, not really. I mean, maybe oh no. That would be the only thing that I could think of that I could potentially do.
Great.
I would have to sit down and like kind of figure it out. I'll be back. Yeah. But also too, if you could do like the joking Arnold, if you could do kind of like the joking Arnold accent, you could do like another handful of character. You could do like was it Jorgen von Strangle from Fairly Odd Parents? I'll be back with weapons. I miss my wife's tales. Yeah, that's the thing. It sounds like George. You sound like that's exactly right. Apparently, I could do Hootie. Someone's like, "Wow, you did a great impression of Hootie." I was like, "Who?" I was just doing like a funny voice of like, "Wow, you sound like was it from Owl House? You sound like Hootie." I'm like, I have no idea who that is, but awesome. I like to scramble fairies. Yeah, Jorgen von Strangle, yeah. Goldberg.
You're so...
When my voice isn't feeling bad, I used to be able to do an okay, like, Homer scream, just like the scream, but not the voice. Hit him. There we go. Up here, there we go. Man, you should have saw my kids' faces when the first time they were playing with their Stitch doll, and I pulled out the should have saw their faces. They're like, "What?"
Great job, Agent Spyro.
Their kids' reactions were like, they were like, what? Yes, I do have prescription sunglasses. I do.
Wait, secret agent. Now handle and I can.
I do have prescription sunglasses. They're my old prescription, but they're better than nothing. And I have a pair of aviators. The Rock, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Do the roar. That's a random one. Do the roar. No, I can't do The Rock. I like that bold. That was a nice bold. Okay. I think we're going to start going into Q&R now because I'm feeling a little tired. I'm feeling a wee bit run down after this week, but boop. Ogres are like onions. The thing that I learned when it came to like just, I'm not saying I'm like a great, anybody. I'm not saying that I have I do a lot of good impressions. I have a few decent impressions. But the one that what I learned was just basically figuring out that a lot of voices and impressions are the same, just like toned up and down. So I didn't sit down and watch the full Shrek trailer. I saw bits of it. There's something about it that is off, and I gotta sit down and look at it, but something just seemed off. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on here? How would you teach anyone how to cook food? Season your food, please. For the love of all that's good, season your food. That is one of the things that, listen, get the basics. Don't burn it. Don't serve it. Don't serve death chicken. Okay. Work with beef. Don't burn it, and season your food. For the love of all that's good, season your food. Use butter, use salt, use pepper. Just sometimes a whole meal can be fixed with basic seasonings. And I'm not saying that you have to do like a crazy amount of seasonings. You need to do no. If you have salt, cracked black pepper, and you start with that, and you can save a lot of meals. Just, literally season your food. Even with just basic, if all you got is salt and pepper, I'm not saying you need anything crazy. Once you get more and more and more, then yes, add more. Also, adding a little bit of spice is never a bad thing. Garlic, great. Yes, garlic, great option. A little bit of I always find sriracha is a nice little flavor enhancer, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little. Just a little. Like that's what I like to throw in my pasta sauce sometimes, is just a little bit of sriracha, just enough to get your lips to go hum. That's it. Just enough to make it go hum. I've seen a lot of people upset Copeland isn't making the music for Realm Beyond. Is it truly that big of a deal? Yes and no. Some people are making it way too big of a deal. Some people are saying it's what makes them not want to play the game. No, that's not what made you not want to play the game. You didn't want to play the game, period. That's it. What you're trying to do is that you're trying to essentially be like, oh, I am upset and do, the whole game is, no, I'm sorry. It's, I like creamy sauces with my pasta. Some bechamel or carbonara are fire. It's so good. Also, Lonely Stars rated me with fire. Hey, how's it going? Also, cheat for a that I like to do for a roux. Because I always, my wife is absolutely insane and she's able to just make a roux real quick. And every time I do it, it's clumpy and a mess. And then she's like, oh, why don't you just do it separately in a bowl before adding it in? I looked at her, I was like, what? She's like, yeah. So take basically equal parts milk and flour. You start with just a little flour, then milk in a completely separate mixing bowl. Just mix it into a cup, mix it in slowly. And then once it's all incorporated, then pour it into your sauce and then mix the slurry that you just made into the sauce. Instant smooth white sauce. 10 out of 10. Rosé sauce. I like that too. I like a rosé sauce. What was I saying? So yeah, in terms of him not being there, it's sad. It's unfortunate. It sucks. It's that sucks. But does that mean that we're now going to now we're going to make a stink and be like, oh, we're not going to like the game anymore because of Stuart Copeland? No, I'm sorry, but yes, it sucks. No, it's not the end of the world. Because we might even get somebody that would just be better fitted, right? I don't know. I don't think that it sucks, but we'll be okay. What's up, Bucko? Hi, how's it going? Let me see here. Some other questions. Would you rather ride roller coasters or go to water? Ooh, that's a good question. That's actually a really good question. What would I rather do? What's the weather like during this day? What's the weather like? Because that will help me decide. Do you like to bust a move on a dance floor or are you shy? Oh, I'm super shy. I'm not a get on the dance moves kind of guy. That's not me. I'm a I sit in the side and give a thumbs up. That's just me. I'm not a yeah. I'm no. I'm not a on the dance floor. Let's see here. The game will still have its own tone. The music will most likely accommodate that. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a big. There's going to be a big thing. There's going to be a big thing where it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what they do with it. And I'm excited. I am excited. 80 degrees outside. Ooh. I think I'm going to go with roller coaster. I'll go with roller coaster. All right, we got a few more minutes. We got 5 more minutes. What was the biggest obstacle you faced to building so much confidence? So I'm the youngest of 5 kids. So I would definitely say that was a big factor, was the fact that all my siblings made fun of me for everything. And it was just kind of like, well, it just kind of got to the point where it was just like, it sucked. It sucked, but it is what it is. And then, then that translates to school, and then, you get bullied on and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. It's just, yeah, I'm the youngest of 5. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Not that they were, my siblings were terrible at me. It's not to say that at all, but it is a thing. So, but for me, what made me more confident was realizing when I could sit down and sit down with a group of people and be able to tell stories and be able to, I can actually tell you, I can tell you the moment that actually, I'm going on this little tangent. And I'm going to tell you the moment that I realized the power of telling a story and the power of making a joke and the power of being able to essentially grab a room and be able to have a conversation with either a few people or the whole room. Was we had to make speeches. It was a thing about speeches that we had to do as an assignment. We had to make a speech and we had to memorize it. And we had to talk about it. And it was a thing for school. I was in grade 4 or 5. I can't remember. And so we had to come up with this speech, and it was so boring. It really was boring. When you have kids saying a speech and what's your favorite thing, and then you have to go up there and you have to talk about a whole bunch of different stuff, and it could be about anything. And when you give a kid unlimited, unfettered access, and so I did a speech about going to Disney World, and I went to Disney World. It was like, it was like a summer or 2 ago. I can't remember. I went to Disney and it was fun. It was great, super cool. And I decided to do my speech on that. And while I was writing up the speech, I was sitting there. I was like, this is so boring. My dad turns to me and says, hey, why don't you say that while you were at the fireworks show, one firework went off and hit Mickey in the head, and then it set on fire. And I was like, Dad, that's lying. He says, no, you end it with saying, nah, I'm just joking. And then you continue. And I sat there and I was like, that's kind of brilliant. And so I went up and I say the speech, and I do this almost like a 20-second. It's almost like a bit in the middle of the speech, and the whole class was dying laughing because all the speeches were so dry that finally somebody got up there and made a speech about setting Mickey Mouse on fire. But what I also realized later on was that more people remembered the boring parts of my speech after the comedy part, that people remembered more of my speech after they were engaged in laughing. And overall, I got sent to I went to they did a judgment of the school. My speech won for the class. And then I went up against every other class and I got second place overall. And I only got, I think the person they gave me, they gave me second place because, my buddy, it was actually my buddy that got first, which I was perfectly fine with. But I remember, I got the teacher that was announcing the first and second place. Like, third place goes to, with the such and such goes to such and such. There's an applause that goes, second place with the exploding Mickey Mouse. And then everyone's, clapping and laughing because it was. And so then later on, we had to do another verbal speech, but it was something for the class. And I remember having to do it on burrowing owls, just a thing. And I took that and I decided to do my speech again by making jokes in my presentation. And again, it landed fairly well. And everyone remembered my information. I remember getting a high grade, even though the information I presented wasn't as good as others, because I seasoned in jokes in there. It made things. So I realized that being able to tell a story and being able to tell it in a way that's entertaining and tell it in a way that's funny and tell it in a way that is at least interactive or at least, draws people in, right? Being able to, and recognize, to be like, you're sitting there, you're talking to somebody, like you're having a conversation with somebody, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody kind of listening in, and I'll turn and I can naturally turn and like as if I start addressing them as well, and then back to the person I was originally talking to, but then back to this person, and now they draw in, and suddenly now we have two people. So you have me talking to another person and talking to another person, and naturally you have me talking to two people and they're engaging. And of course that's going to have a third person come in because it's like, oh, why are these two people talking to this guy? And they come in and then they listen. And then eventually, before you know it, you're talking to a whole room and you're able to tell a story and be able to talk and communicate and be able to do this and do that and be able, and then you can integrate jokes and and then it gets to the point where you are telling stories that have nothing to do with what you originally were talking about, but just for to be able to tell a story and to be able to get a laugh, to be able to get a smile, to be able, and then it reverberates, right? And then it's fun. And I enjoy that. I love being able to do that in a room and being able to talk to people. And then when I realized that I could do that, I started honing that. And then when I finally, I want to say mastered it, when I went to broadcasting and radio, television, and film for college, we had to be able to present information in a way without stuttering, because if you stuttered, you lost marks. That was it. So if you were sitting there behind the mic and today we went and the score of the mark, doc. Every single time you stuttered, you got docked a percentage point. That was it. Like, you could have presented everything perfectly. You stutter 1% off the total mark of the whole thing. So if you sat there and when you sit there and you are stuttering, so I had to be like, hey, don't stutter, but you can pause for a moment and think, right? You had to pause for a moment and think. Now, of course, if there was a medical speech impediment, that's one thing. But if it was you got nervous and you stuttered, you lost marks. So that's it. And the thing is that, the stories that I tell too, they're true too, right? But it was a fact of, okay, using hyperbole, using jokes, using things to be able to turn a bland story into something that's fun to listen to. Here's a good test. How can you make a trip if you were to tell the story of of going to the DMV to somebody entertaining, how would you say it? How would you present it? Right? And immediately my brain goes to waiting forever. Okay. Right. So there's ways that you're telling the truth of the story, but you can make it more entertaining, because if you're like, yeah, I went to DMV today. Like, okay, and if you're like, if something happens there, it's like, you know, then you can be able to retell it in a way that is public speaking makes people anxious. Stuttering is natural. Absolutely. You're right. And my college was ruthless when it came to that. It was ruthless. It was that's how it was. That's how it was. But they changed it now. They've changed. Oh gosh, where do I even start with the college? It was so good. I loved my program, but it was ruthless. They did not care. You had a stutter, they didn't care. You went off script, they didn't care. They did not care. And it was too bad. That was it. That was their answer. Okay. Hey, teacher, I can't do my homework tonight because I got a TV mobile that I got to record. And then I also got to get prepared for my radio show tomorrow that I got to do. So I can't do the homework, and I can't do the homework tonight. Too bad. That was it. There was no, we got to the point where we quite literally were calculating what classes to skip to be able to get our projects done. That's how brutal they made it. They made no communication to each other. No communication. That was it. It was like, okay, do what you gotta do. And it was like, get it done. That was it. That's all he said. Get it done. Get it done. It's like, oh, okay. I need to be home by 10 p.m. Yeah, well, we just finished recording. It's 9 o'clock and it's going to take 2 hours to shut down. So, you know, you're going to be late or you're going to lose marks. Okay, I guess I'm shutting down the TV truck until midnight, even though I got to get back home for 9 o'clock. Like it was brutal. It was brutal. It was, you know, one time I spent 49 hours at the school. I slept on the couches and I slept in the editing suites. And that was it. That was, welcome to that. Now they don't do it anymore. Now I know someone who was back in the program and they don't do it like that. They've changed it. They're better now, but good gravy. It was brutal. It was very stressful. So, all right. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today. I'm going to be back tomorrow with, I don't know what. I don't know what I'm going to be back with tomorrow. Maybe Voidling Bound, maybe something new. I don't know. I do know that tomorrow I'm going to be seeing Toy Story 5 with the kiddos because I got a volunteer position at the school. And they're like, hey, we need you to, you know, come watch. We need you to come watch. What's it called? Toys for Bob. Toy Story. We need you to come watch Toy Story and watch a bunch of kids. So I'm like, okay, well, that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna be out for almost all day. So, all right, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video and our live stream. Time for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.